Welcome to the operation briefing for Operation Impending Storm. You guys have heard recently, the situation in Colombia is deteriorating rapidly, with FARC taking control of major population centers and military installations. The State Department is concerned for the well-being of American citizens in country, as well as concerned that should FARC take over the country in its entirety, it would signal a major loss in the war on drugs and further solidify South America as a narco region. As a result, it's been decided to send in elements of the COG 1st Platoon, as well as the 16th MEU that's stationed in the Caribbean Sea, in order to return stability and democracy to the region. COG 1st Platoon will be the first element in country and will be laying the groundwork for the 16th MEU amphibious landing on Beach Orion. The area of operations for our first target is going to be the town of El Barzal, 12 clicks southwest of the carrier group. The terrain in this region is rolling hills with tropical tree lines, which should have little effect on movement until we get into the tree lines, which will give us low visibility and decreased mobility. The weather for the night of the operation is reported to be clear, low loom with no effect on air platforms, and should offer us an NVG advantage as we have no reports of FARC with night vision capabilities. Enemy forces, our human and SIGINT assets already in country, have located a possible FARC artillery element in the vicinity of the town of El Barzal. We expect this element to have around 30 fighters armed with AKs, M4s, and various other small arms, with our target specifically being the multiple 2S3M1 self-propelled guns. Disposition in the last 72 hours, it's reported that this gun element has been fortifying their position in preparation for a NATO response to the recent coup. The most likely course of action are that these disorganized FARC fighters will engage us from hasty positions and retreat into the tree line as they are retreated. The most dangerous course of action on target are that these FARC fighters are more disciplined than anticipated, engage us from prepared positions, and attempt to keep us decisively engaged as their QRF moves to encircle us. As far as the civilian populace goes, they're considered friendly to our elements and are displeased with the collapse of their democracy. We already have some indigenous elements in country that are already working to assist us with our intelligence efforts. The friendly forces for this operation are going to be COG 1st Platoon. We're going to be inserting via static line from a C-130J call sign Fixer 11. Prior to our infill, there will be multiple FA-18s conducting seed within the area to open up an air corridor for our static line jump. Call signs for the FA-18s are Hornet 11, Hornet 12, Hornet 13, and Hornet 14. Moving on to the mission itself now. COG 1st Platoon will conduct a platoon attack via static line airborne assault on a FARC artillery gun position located in the vicinity of the town of El Barzal in order to decrease the amount of indirect fires capable of targeting Orion Beach on the night of Saturday, October 15th, 2004 at 0200 local. I say again, COG 1st Platoon will be conducting a platoon attack via static line airborne assault on a FARC artillery gun position located in the vicinity of the town of El Barzal in order to decrease the amount of indirect fires capable of targeting Orion Beach on the night of Saturday, October 15th, 2004 at 0200 local. It is the commander's intent to assist the 16th MEU Karma Company with their amphibious landing on Orion Beach by disrupting FARC indirect fire capabilities in the region in order to restore democracy to the people of Colombia. All friendly forces and equipment are accounted for at patrol base. Enemy FARC gun positions destroyed or neutralized. Civilian damage to the civilian populace and infrastructure is limited to what was deemed necessary for mission success. Task organization for this operation. Kilo 11, you are decisive operation 1. Your task is to assault the FARC gun position. Your purpose is to decrease effective FARC indirect fires targeting Orion Beach. Kilo 12, you are decisive operation 2. Your task is to assault the FARC gun position. Your purpose, once again, to decrease effective FARC indirect fires targeting Orion Beach. Kilo 13, you are shaping operation 1. Your primary task is to follow and assume Kilo 11 or Kilo 12 in event of Moscow. Your purpose, decrease effective FARC indirect fires targeting Orion Beach. Your secondary task is to conduct SSC and demo in post-assault. The purpose of your secondary task is to gather intelligence to allow for follow-on targets and render strategic FARC equipment unusable. Kilo 14, you are shaping Operation 2. Your task is to establish the support by fire position on the south of the target. Your purpose is to suppress FARC fighting positions to allow assaulting elements freedom of maneuver. Moving on to the concept of operation, this operation is broken down into 5 phases. Phase 1, Insertion. Phase 2, Assault. Phase 3, Post-Assault. Phase 4, Prep for Exfil. And Phase 5, Exfil. We're going to start with Phase 1, Insertion. It starts with 1st Platoon boarding Fixer 11 at Fob Jameson. It ends with squads at designated LCC and SBF in preparation for assault. Key tasks during this phase, proper accountability at the FOB for personnel and equipment, and to conduct a static line infill to DZ Roach. Phase 2 Assault, it starts with all squads at their respective SBF and LCC positions. It ends with the FARC artillery element destroyed and the compound clear and secure. Key tasks for this phase are to assault and destroy the FARC gun position. Phase 3 Post-Assault starts with the FARC gun position destroyed and the compound clear and secure, and it ends with the exploitation of the FARC compound complete. Key tasks for post-assault: back clearance of the gun position, exploitation of significant structures, and the leader's huddle in vicinity of the gun position. Phase 4, Prep for Exfil, starts with the leader's huddle in vicinity of the gun position, and it ends with 1st Platoon organized, consolidated, and ready to exfil to PB location south. Key tasks for this phase, proper accountability of all squads. Phase 5, Exfil, starts with 1st Platoon in formation with guns attached, and it ends with all 1st Platoon elements and equipment properly accounted for and safely at the patrol base. Key tasks for this phase, proper accountability of the entire element and equipment, and all COG 1st Platoon elements organized and consolidated at the patrol base. Moving into the execution. Phase 1, Insertion. Once again, starts with all 1st Platoon loaded onto Fixer 1-1. Prior to us entering the country, FA-18s will conduct seed operations to open up an air corridor for Fixer 1-1. All of 1st Platoon will static line infill to DZ Roach. 1st Platoon elements will consolidate and organize at assembly point west of DZ Roach. 1st Platoon will then move in formation with guns attached from the assembly point to the ORP through the tree line. Order of march is as follows: Kilo 1-1, Kilo 1-2, HQ, and then Kilo 1-3 in the rear. We'll then move and establish the ORP in force and conduct our leader's recon, and Phase 1 should end with all elements in respective last cover and concealment and support by fire positions. Key calls for this phase: red light, 5 minutes, 60 seconds, green light, and respective ACE reports at the assembly point. This concludes Phase 1. Phase 2, Assault. Phase 2 starts with Kilo 1-4 at SBF and Kilo 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3 holding at LCC. Kilo 1-4 will initiate fires on TRPs 1, 2, and 3 on key call initiate. Kilo 1-1 will then move to breach the southern base wall with explosives. Kilo 1-1 and Kilo 1-2 will then assault through to following phase lines after proper shift and lift fire calls until LOA. Kilo 1-3 will hold at LCC providing west security and will be prepared to follow and assume Kilo 1-1 and Kilo 1-2 in event of Moscow. Phase 2 ends with Kilo 1-1 and Kilo 1-2 at LOA. Key calls for this phase: initiate, respective pause reps at the phase lines, and respective shift and lift fire calls. This concludes Phase 2. This is a closer image for GRG purposes. All relevant structures and positions have been marked and numbered. Phase 3, Post-Assault, starts with the FARC gun position clear and secure and assault at LOA. Kilo 1-1 and Kilo 1-2 will then move to establish additional outboard security. Kilo 1-1 to the north and Kilo 1-2 to the east. Kilo 1-3 will back clear, prep additional demo, and conduct SSE at this time. Kilo 1-4 will be remaining at the support by fire position. During this phase, there will also be a leader's huddle in vicinity of the FARC gun position to be determined on target. Key calls for this phase are post-assault, post-assault, post-assault. This concludes Phase 3. Phase 4, Prep for Exfil, starts with the FARC gun position exploited and destroyed. Kilo 1-1, Kilo 1-2, and Kilo 1-3 will then consolidate back at Kilo 1-4's SBF position south. All squads must have accountability for their personnel and equipment during this phase and be prepared to move out in formation with guns attached. Key calls for Phase 4, Prep for Exfil, Prep for Exfil, Prep for Exfil. This concludes Phase 4. Phase 5, Exfiltration. Phase 5 starts with 1st Platoon in formation with guns attached, ready to move southbound with key call Exfil. 1st Platoon will move information from El Barzal to grid 140946 along Route Green in order to establish a patrol base for further sustained operations. Order of march is as follows: Kilo 1-1, Kilo 1-2, HQ element, Kilo 1-3 in the rear. All squads must have accountability for personnel and equipment at this point. Phase 5 is complete when all elements are in formation at patrol base and accounted for. Key calls for this phase are Exfil. This concludes Phase 5. Service and support. General, all squads should plan for 72-hour sustained operations with resupply via speedball/bundle in the days following. The materials and services for this operation: 1st Platoon, make sure you're carrying your full combat load on you with 1 extra combat load or close to in your ruck, medical, and ammo included. Our transport for this operation is once again that C-130J, Fixer 1-1 for static line insert. There are no speedballs on this first objective. Command and signal for this operation are as follows. The chain of command is going to be Kilo 1-6, Kilo 1-7, Kilo 1-8, and then Kilo 1-9, followed by the weapon squad leader Kilo 1-4, Kilo 1-1, Kilo 1-2, and finally Kilo 1-3. Call signs for this operation: Fixer 1-1, which is once again our C-130J, with Hornets 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, and 1-4, and our FA-18s conducting seed prior to our infill. Our internal pace plan for the element: primary is going to be long range 031 for platoon. Alternate is going to be SR direct to the element you're trying to reach. The contingency is a runner to their location. An emergency is going to be Discord message. External pace plan for air or warlord: primary is going to be long range 032. Alternate is SR direct to the airframe or warlord. Contingency is going to be a red flare. An emergency is going to be a Discord message once again. Combo card on the right for relevant freaks, and our smoking signal has not changed from previous operations.